Hello, my name is Ethan Chazen. I am a New York City small business growth coach, and I want to share with you today a workforce vitality survey. So this is a pretty easy to complete survey that I've created and use when I'm talking to organizations about assessing the state of their current culture. So I'm going to walk you through the questions, and really today is just to get you into the mind frame of as we ramp up the second half of the year and we deal with the continued uncertainty and chaos that's going on around us. These are the questions that you need to have answered when it comes to developing a people-first strategy and also implementing an amazing workplace culture. So the first question I'll ask is, do you have the right people in the right roles right now to ensure lasting success? And this is in the category of a trick question. 9 times out of 10, an organization will say, yes, we do. It's rare, but they may say no. It's more often the case where instead of a downright no, we don't have the right people, they'll say, you know what, we're not sure. And that opens a conversation around, well, what are you not sure about? What are the roles that you're not sure about? But that's the very first question that needs to be answered as you think about developing a world-class organization is, do we have the right people in the right roles right now to achieve continued success? The next thing that I do is I ask them if they deliver a personality assessment tool of any type to their people. And a personality assessment tool is instructive to a certain degree, whether you're using, for example, Myers-Briggs or Berkman or Kersey. I am a DISC certified coach, but it really doesn't matter the specific tool. You may use a strong assessment tool, doesn't matter. What really matters is that you do the same assessment for all employees at all 3 levels, senior leadership, middle management, and client-facing staff, and across functional departments, because what you want to see is if the person that ideally you administer it during your recruiting process, does the person possess the requisite characteristics, attributes, behaviors that fits the values of your organization? Next up, I ask about an organization's comfort level measuring the degree of confidence they have in maximizing the return on their people investment strategy. So what does that look like? We know that payroll, employee salary, benefits, that the total payment you make out to your people is your largest expense. I have found over the last 40 years that organizations that see their people not as an expense to be managed, but as an investment, as their only lasting competitive advantage, they will indicate a high level of confidence on this question, the degree of confidence you have that you're maximizing the return on your people investment. So next up, we talk about a metric that I employ often when I'm looking at an organization's efficacy, their success rate in their talent acquisition, talent management domain. And that's what we call quality of hire. Quality of hire is, do you assess on an annual basis the degree of retention as a starting point, percent retention of people hired in that year? Retention is a first category. Then we look at, for quality of hire, people who are promoted internally, people who are matched to a coach or mentor, people who are sponsored by a member of a leadership team to be considered for partner track. Those are some of the metrics we use. Oh, don't forget, we also look at percent completion of KPIs. So the individual goals that are achieved in a calendar year, the team goals that the individuals serve on those teams, those team goals achievement, and how that matches the organization's success in achieving its goals. That's the next question, quality of hires. Then I ask, how often do you conduct employee performance reviews? Here's why this is, again, a trick question. If you do it once a year, you're failing. Your organization is dead. If you do it quarterly, similarly, that's not frequently enough. This is a trick question because an employee performance review, not formally, but informally conducted, is a daily exercise of you going to your people as a leader and saying, what do you need from us in this organization to succeed in all of your roles and responsibilities? What do you need from us to unleash your untapped potential? So therefore, the performance review no longer becomes a snapshot in time at the end of the year, typically to punish people and give some kind of a numeric score to them getting some kind of cost of living adjustment, if at all. The performance review is too far often used as a punishment tool. I want you to break out of that thinking. The next question that I used in my vitality survey is, who is responsible for setting employee goals? Again, a trick question. It's a rhetorical almost. The only way this works, the only way in which goal setting works, is if your people set their own goals for their performance and their teams, their self-managed teams that they participate on. When the manager sets your goals, I know that your organization is set up for failure. If the employee and the manager do it jointly, there's a little bit more opportunity that you're going to leverage that employee's the full set of what they have to offer: skills, background, experience, language proficiency, training, prior experience, their culture diversity, where they may have taken a gap year, studied abroad, their network of individuals. Let the employees determine how they can most effectively get work done. Why? Because they're closest to the work. If you say you're not utilizing goals, well, I think that speaks volumes for the fact that you're not measuring employee performance and productivity. You're just not. There's no way to not have goals and do that. Next, I'll ask in this vitality survey, does your company enable your employees to have a complete autonomy? So this is that Daniel Pink moment where we look at autonomy is easy for employees to say on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being almost no autonomy and 10 being complete control and autonomy. They have autonomy over 4 aspects of their work: what they do, the work itself, when they do it, where they do it from, and who they do it with. And if they answer, I have complete control into all of those, then you've empowered them. If they don't, if there's a delta between what you're saying you empower them to do and what they're telling you, that delta, that difference, is an opportunity for revising the amount of autonomy your people have. Next, do your people work in self-directed teams? What does that mean? I had the son of the founder of a company in Southern California called Morningstar Company, the tomatoes company, come on my podcast, Chasing the Dream. And we talked about their model, which has been for 40 plus years, consistent track record of financial success. Fiscal quarter after fiscal quarter, they outperform. And one of the ways that they do this is in self-directed teams. What that means is when you hire an employee, you line them up with a coach, you give them mentors, you give them the tools and resources they need, but based on what their skills are and their interests and passions are, they get to self-select teams that they're going to work on based on the work that's done. Ideally, self-directed teams don't have a project leader on every project assigned. Organically, your teams of employees pick and choose who is going to lead that project, which means they all have the capability, the skill set of project management. They pick and choose amongst themselves who is the most appropriate, suitable individual on that team to lead the project based on that individual's track record of success, background, prior experience. Or if they don't, have somebody that the team as a whole has identified as being capable of effectively leading that, they go outside to another team in your organization and find a leader to bring in for that project. Do you have a succession plan? There's no bullshit on this. I'm sorry. There's no gray nebulous area. A succession plan is based on the earlier question I asked in this survey. Do you have the right people in the right roles now or moving forward to continue to achieve success? Do you have a contingency plan? A talent management, risk management audit will assess, literally looking at your org chart, the most critical people who are contributing the greatest success to your organization, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. Do you have a succession plan to identify in-house and outside the ideal candidates to step into roles? Do you do this kind of audit, this kind of workforce vitality audit on a regular, not annual, that's not good enough. At best, it's every other month or every quarter. That's your assessment of your staff, your team, whether you're 10 employees or 50,000. You're constantly looking at the vitality of your workforce, the right composition of ethnicities, backgrounds, experiences, generations, industries, academic institutions, the kind of employee resource groups or community engagement volunteer work they do. You're looking at the sum total of your workforce. How do they interact, your people, with your clients? Does your workforce look like your customer base, sound like, share values, background, upbringing, culture? That's what a workforce vitality audit looks like. So then I ask kind of a cheat sheet question, which is, which of the following do you have formal programs around? Employee resource groups, health and wellness, financial literacy training. See, you get points or lose points based on what you have, because when you take the survey, it's very easy. I bang out a score for you pretty quickly, and you'll know immediately upon submitting your completed survey, are you dead organization, walking world-class organization, or more than likely statistically somewhere in between on the spectrum? Do you conduct pulse surveys to gauge your employee satisfaction with the organization? You submit it, and then you'll find out immediately how you rank. It's just a starting point. So if you're interested in exploring the state of your organization's workforce, just reach out to me, let me know. I'll put the link to the survey in the description below so you can complete it yourself, and then I'll get the results, and then we can have a follow-up conversation. Hey, listen, I've done about 600 videos on my YouTube channel. I work very hard to give you ideas, inspiration, and insights on how to build an amazingly powerful workforce that's set up for lasting success by implementing people-first strategies and building an amazing workplace culture. Let me know if you'd like to talk about how to implement these key initiatives in your organization. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.